If you're using cold email to generate leads in 2025, you seriously need to stop focusing so much on personalization. Everyone's become so obsessed with personalizing their cold emails, calling out the prospect's name, mentioning their company name, saying something about the prospect's most recent LinkedIn post. And I understand it sounds like a great strategy when you first think about it, but after sending millions of cold emails and generating over 1.2 million in revenue for my clients, I can confidently say that I've come to the realization that there's one thing that's far more important than personalization. First of all, it's crucial that you understand that personalization does not equal replies. Just because you personalize your emails doesn't mean that you're going to get the response. And it doesn't mean that the more you personalize, the more responses you're going to get, because there's something that's much more important. And we'll get to that in a second. But first, I just want to show you what most people think personalization does. So I would say that 90% of people believe that the more personal the email is, the more likely it is to get a reply. So they start adding the prospect's first name, the company name, the job title, the location, and a bunch of random facts that they pulled from the prospect's LinkedIn. Now, the problem with that is that no matter how much personalization you add in the email, if it's not relevant, then all that personalization is going to go down the drain. And that's the key word that I want to focus on: relevance. So, relevance is more important than personalization in your cold email scripts. Okay, just think about this. You could write the most personalized email in the world. You can use the prospect's name, the company name, the prospect's dog's name, their favorite sushi restaurant, their favorite car. But if your offer is not relevant, then they won't care. They're not going to reply, and they're just going to delete your email. And all that personalization that you've used is just going to go to waste. Now let's flip that around. Let's say you have no personalization in the script, but it's hyper relevant. That's exactly how we generated 150K in 30 days for our B2B SaaS client. We used no Clay, no fancy AI, no ChatGPT, no Claude, no personalization whatsoever in the scripts. All we focused on is relevance. And that particular client closed 16 deals in 30 days just through cold email. So how exactly did we do that? What does relevance actually mean? Relevance means that you're solving a real problem that the prospect cares about. You understand their current situation, you know what they want to achieve, and your offer speaks directly to their goals. You're not just saying, hey, first name, I love your recent LinkedIn post on remote work. You're saying, I know exactly what you're struggling with, and I can solve that exact problem. So, how exactly do you achieve relevance? It all starts with one thing, and that's market research. You need to know your audience better than they know themselves. And here's how you do that. You need to first understand your ICP, which is your ideal client profile. So, what kind of company are you reaching out to? What's the job title of the relevant decision maker that you're reaching out to within that company? What's their industry? And then once you have that piece of information, you need to understand their pain points. What's frustrating them right now? Where are they losing money or time? And what are they trying to fix? Then you need to know their desired state. So, what outcome do they really want? Do they want more revenue, more leads, more automation? Do they want to save time? And then once you know that, you can identify the gap, which is the bridge between their current state and their desired state. Now, that's exactly where your offer comes in, and that's what makes your email relevant. So, just to be clear, personalization is not a bad thing. I'm not saying you need to avoid personalization. If you can personalize in a way that adds value, then that's great. But personalization is just the icing, it's not the cake. Relevance is the cake. Personalization is just a sprinkle on the top once you've already achieved relevance. Because if your email lacks relevance, then no amount of personalization can save it. It doesn't matter how many things you call out about the prospect. If your offer doesn't solve their most frustrating pain point that is stopping them from getting to their desired state, then you're not going to get a response. So let me just show you a quick example of a bad email versus a good email. So a bad email is, hey, John, I loved your recent post on SaaS growth. We help SaaS companies like yours, XYZ. This is slightly personalized because we're calling out a recent post on SaaS growth, but it's vague, the offer is generic, and there's no real value. So let's compare this to a good email that has no personalization. We help seed stage SaaS companies that are stuck between 10 to 30K MRR scale to 100K plus by automating their outbound with AI driven cold email, no extra hires needed. This script has no personalization, but it's hyper relevant. There's a clear outcome, and there's also specific targeting. So if you are a seed stage SaaS company that is genuinely stuck between 10 and 30K MRR, then this script is hyper relevant to you. So I think it's pretty clear which one out of the two you would respond to. So what I want you to take away from this video is that personalization doesn't always generate responses. Whereas on the other hand, relevance is 10 times more important and will always generate responses. It's much, much easier to book calls and close deals when you have a script that is 100% relevant but doesn't have personalization than vice versa. So what I'm trying to say is that you literally can't do anything without relevance. So if you're stressing about personalization because you don't know whether you should be calling out your prospect's recent LinkedIn post, their favorite restaurant, or where exactly their account headquarters are based, then just stop and start focusing on knowing your audience inside out, solving a clear problem that they value, and then crafting a relevant and compelling offer. That's what gets replies, that's what books meetings, and that's what's going to make you money. So that's that for this video. I hope you now have a good understanding of why relevance is 10 times more important than personalization in cold emails. And I guarantee that if you start focusing on relevance, your cold email results are going to substantially improve. Now, obviously, there's a lot more that goes into writing a good cold email script besides relevance. So if you don't want to go through all the hassle of learning all the different components of a good cold email script, and you just want us to come into your business, set up the whole system for you, and deliver 10 to 20 qualified sales calls to your calendar every single month without you needing to do anything, then just click on the first link in the description to book a call with me. But if you don't want us to set up the whole system for you and you just want me to personally mentor you and help you scale your cold email agency or B2B company, then just click on the second link in the description and fill in the application form. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.